Summary of Grit: The Power of Passion and Perseverance by Angela Duckworth. Angela Duckworth's Grit: The Power of Passion and Perseverance explores a deceptively simple idea. Long-term success depends less on innate talent and far more on a unique blend of passion and persistence that she calls grit. Drawing from years of research, real-world case studies, and psychological theory, Duckworth argues that grit is the most reliable predictor of achievement in education, the workplace, athletics, and personal development. The book examines what grit is, why it matters, and how anyone can cultivate it. Introduction: Why grit matters more than talent. Duckworth begins by sharing her experience as a management consultant turned 7th grade math teacher. Observing her students, she noticed something troubling. Test scores and school performance could not be reliably predicted by IQ or raw ability. Some of her brightest students gave up easily, while others who struggled early went on to outperform their naturally gifted peers. This observation guided her research as she pursued a PhD in psychology. She discovered similar patterns in a range of high-performance environments, from West Point Military Academy to Spelling Bee championships and elite sports programs. Across these contexts, one variable consistently predicted success better than talent: grit. Duckworth defines grit as the combination of two qualities. 1. Passion, a consistent, long-term interest in a goal. 2. Perseverance, sustained effort and resilience over time. Grit is not short-term intensity, but long-term endurance. It is about staying committed to a goal for years and continuing to work even when progress plateaus, frustrations accumulate, or failures occur. Part 1. What grit is and why it matters. Talent versus effort. One of Duckworth's core arguments is that society overvalues talent. We love stories of prodigies and geniuses, people who appear to achieve greatness effortlessly, but Duckworth shows that talent is an unreliable and often misleading indicator of success. The biggest achievements rarely emerge from natural ability alone. Instead, they come from sustained and focused effort. She introduces two equations. 1. Talent times effort equals skill. 2. Skill times effort equals achievement. Effort counts twice. Natural talent helps a person learn faster, but skill only becomes achievement when effort is applied consistently over time. Effort builds skill, and effort makes skill productive. The Grit Scale. Duckworth created a psychological tool called the Grit Scale, which measures passion and perseverance. It asks people questions such as, how often do they stick with goals, or how quickly they lose interest. High scorers on the Grit Scale tend to outperform their peers in demanding environments. Duckworth emphasizes that grit is not fixed. It grows through deliberate practice, supportive environments, and meaningful purpose. Case studies of grit. Duckworth provides vivid examples of grit in action. West Point cadets. The Beast Barracks program summer eliminates many high-potential candidates. Grit, not physical strength or high test scores, best predicts who survives. National Spelling Bee. Finalists who practice harder and longer, not those with highest initial verbal intelligence, make it farther. Historical figures. Charles Darwin and Will Smith exemplify slow, steady, unglamorous perseverance. Darwin spent decades refining his theories. Will Smith claims he wins not by talent, but because he's willing to die on the treadmill. Together, these stories demonstrate that consistency and stamina matter far more than bursts of brilliance. Part 2. Growing Grit from the Inside Out. Duckworth next examines how grit forms within individuals. She identifies 4 qualities that foster grit: interest, practice, purpose, and hope. 1. Interest. Passion begins with enjoyment. Passion is not an instant spark, but a slow developing fire. Most gritty people discovered their interests gradually. Passion requires years of exploration, taking classes, trying new activities, and seeking mentors. She cautions parents and teachers against demanding that youth find their passion immediately. Instead, they should support curiosity and experimentation. She also stresses that passion is not merely enjoyment, it is a long-term commitment. A gritty passion is a deep connection to something that feels personally important and meaningful. 2. Practice, the habit of continuous improvement. After interest comes disciplined practice. She draws heavily on Anders Ericsson's research on deliberate practice, the kind that leads to expert performance. Deliberate practice is goal-directed, highly focused, repetitive, feedback-driven, and mentally uncomfortable. Gritty individuals engage in years of deliberate practice. They push beyond their comfort zones and welcome feedback that others might avoid. They structure daily habits that prioritize improvement, not just participation. 3. Purpose, connecting work to something larger. Purpose means the conviction that one's work matters beyond personal gain. Many gritty people feel their efforts contribute to the well-being of others. Purpose does not oppose passion, instead it strengthens and sustains it. Duckworth identifies 3 levels of motivation. 1. Interest. I enjoy what I'm doing. 2. Purpose. What I'm doing helps others. 3. Hope. I believe I can keep going and things will get better. Purpose often develops after interest in practice. As individuals deepen their skills, they start seeing how those skills can make a difference in the world. 4. Hope. The belief that you can keep going. Hope in Duckworth's model is not optimism alone, it is a gritty style of thinking. It involves believing failures are temporary, interpreting setbacks as challenges that can be overcome, and maintaining a growth mindset. Drawing from Carol Dweck's research, Duckworth explains that a growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be developed, generates grit. People who have growth mindsets embrace effort, view setbacks as learning opportunities, and persist in the face of difficulties. Part 3. Growing grit from the outside in. In addition to internal qualities, grit is shaped by external influences. Duckworth explores how parents, coaches, teachers, and organizations can cultivate grit. The importance of parenting. Duckworth studied the upbringing of high-achieving performers across fields. She found that the most supportive families were neither authoritarian nor permissive, but wise parenting, a balanced style that blends warmth with high expectations. Gritty parents tend to provide encouragement, model grit through their own actions, maintain high standards, provide emotional support. Children learn grit not just from being pushed, but from observing consistent adult perseverance. The role of teachers and coaches. Great teachers and coaches combine encouragement with rigorous demands. They create environments where practice is structured, feedback is continuous, and growth is expected. Programs like the KIPP charter schools exemplify this by integrating character development, including grit, into academic education. Students are taught to stay focused, to overcome setbacks, and to pursue long-term goals. Culture and collective grit. Culture plays a profound role in shaping individual grit. Whether it's the culture of a military academy, a sports team, a corporate environment, or a family, shared beliefs influence personal behavior. Duckworth highlights Malcolm Gladwell's argument about cultural legacy and adds that gritty cultures demand hard work, commitment, continuous improvement, and high expectations. These environments normalize perseverance. People become grittier simply by belonging to groups that value grit. Part 4. The power of grit in daily life. Duckworth explores practical implications of grit in careers, relationships, and long-term personal goals. Grit in careers, the power of long-term commitment. Career trajectories are rarely linear. Grit enables people to endure fluctuations, persist through slow periods, and stay focused on overarching goals. Many high achievers stick with a single top-level career goal for long periods, even as smaller goals shift. Duckworth argues that success requires clarifying your goal hierarchy. Lower-level goals, short-term tasks or projects, mid-level goals, ongoing pursuits, and top-level goal, your ultimate purpose. Grit means staying loyal to your highest goal for years or decades. Grit in relationships and teams.
Duckworth notes its relevance to groups. Successful teams show collective grit. Members stick to shared long-term goals and support one another through challenges. In relationships, grit shows up as the willingness to grow together, communicate honestly, endure difficult phases, and remain consistent in effort. Grit and happiness. One of Duckworth's key findings is that grit and well-being are deeply connected. Individuals who pursue meaningful, long-term goals often experience greater satisfaction. Passion creates positive emotion. Perseverance creates a sense of accomplishment. Still, she emphasizes balance. Grit does not mean grinding endlessly to the point of burnout. Instead, it is about sustainable, purposeful effort. Addressing misconceptions. What grit is not. Duckworth clarifies what grit does not mean. It does not imply ignoring talent. Talent matters, just less than we think. It is not stubbornness. Grit involves strategic persistence, not blind tenacity. It is not unhealthy overworking or burnout. It does not guarantee success in every pursuit. Sometimes quitting is wise if it allows focus on higher goals. Grit means choosing your battles and staying deeply committed to those that matter most. The limits of grit. Duckworth acknowledges that grit alone is not enough. Opportunity, resources, health, and support systems all play crucial roles in achievement. She also notes that excessive grit can lead to sticking with unproductive goals too long. The healthiest forms of grit involve adaptability, self-awareness, seeking feedback, a willingness to refine one's goals. Ultimately, grit is one important part of a much larger picture. Conclusion: the promise of grit. Duckworth concludes by emphasizing that grit is malleable. Everyone has the capacity to become grittier through cultivating meaningful interests, engaging in deliberate practice, connecting goals to a broader purpose, developing hope and resilience, and surrounding oneself with gritty communities. Grit is a lifelong journey. Small, consistent steps, daily habits, incremental improvements, and sustained passion lead to extraordinary outcomes over time. By focusing on what we care about deeply and refusing to be deterred by obstacles, we unlock our potential.